What's going on, everybody? Sean here, Anderson RC Adventures. Today we have a new toy. I picked up the Helaman, so this will be my first run of this car. Changed out wheels and tires. Nothing crazy. Besides that, the car is stock. So we'll see how we like this car, what we like, what we don't like. We'll get into the run footage. Here we go. This is the first line. We'll call this one the Arca buggy. Alright, impressive. Not bad. Okay. We're gonna go back. This is an all new car to me. I have absolutely zero experience with this car, my plans, what I want to do with it. There it is. See if I can drop down in this without losing it. Oh, okay. Okay, that works. And keep it rolling here. Go up this mask section now. Now this car does have that ASD, axial selectable drive. I don't know how much I'm actually going to use it. I prefer just straight up driving. But we'll see. There's probably going to be a time and a place. Back in that front tire. Nice. Walked right up that. Definitely needs, I think, brushless. It'll end up with the Fusion 8. I'm sure. So I definitely could use it. So I'm going to go higher line here. Okay. Suppose not there. There we go. Needed to bounce it. Alright. This is one of my favorite test lines. This one tells me whether or not I like a car and its performance. Tires. I love testing tires on this one. Because it's wet right now, it also makes it more difficult. But it's steep, a good cut back right there, and they get steep again, right up out of the top there. But this car made super short work of that. We also have the one right next to it. This is more just a steep climb. This one's just strictly about traction, where you can find it. Of course, it never shows how actually steep it really is. But these are some of my favorite test lines here. There we go. You just gotta look for traction on these ones, work back and forth, let the car find what it wants. The idea is to stay up on these rocks, but you got to make a pretty crazy descent here. As soon as you pop up this side. I'll get to the side here. Let's see how good of a drop off this is. You can hang to the rock for a little while. Eventually you gotta get into the throttle. It's deeper than I thought it was. Hopefully, water here. See if we can use that Okay, that function works pretty cool. Here's another good line to test a car. They're usually always wet. So once again, it comes down to line choice and traction. Forgot to mention this car does actually have a suck down winch in the front. I'm not able to function it right now. Driving one-handed and recording with the other. But I think this line would be a good one for it. It's got front end lifting considerably. Ooh, let's not do that. Put it in the water. Oh, I let off too soon. Come on. Okay, apparently, there we go. So this car's having trouble with that. And another car is going to walk right up that. This first one, I don't imagine should be too difficult for this car. Oh, my Rancho pulls it pretty easily. Setup can be kind of tricky though. Inching it. Might have to bump it. Let's try and bump it. Yeah, that's what I needed. I made it easy. I suppose let's try some more of this climbing stuff here. This spot's dry. The next section is wet. There's that breakover angle I was talking about. This, I don't know if I'll be able to crawl this one, or if I'm gonna have to bump it. Can I crawl? Bump. Yeah, just needed a little bump. Up through some water. Maybe, maybe not. Nope. I'll walk right up it. We'll go up to do some tricky stuff though. Go up this way. this is where it's going to get tricky now. Change angles. Okay. Come in from a completely different angle than what I normally do here. The setup might take a second. Nope, we'll get in there. Front end to settle down. We're gonna try and go left up out of here. Gotta get the front end up over that ledge right there. Oh, there we go. Not exactly where I wanted, but it works. Okay, yeah, not bad. Now let's see if I can roll it all the way down to myself. Oh, we good. One up here is pretty fun. Definitely limited traction in the dirt. Kind of a weird spot. Doesn't look very hard going up that, but just weird traction. Alright, this is going to be a good test here. Now, keep in mind, driving one-handed is tricky here. I'm going to try and run that front suck down wind. Okay. front suck down winch is on. That's the super off camber line right here. Not a lot of cars can navigate this line, and I don't know if it's going to be any different for this car. We're about to find out. Okay, we're off to a good start. This might be a tricky spot. I think that front tire is gonna, well, might walk this. Okay. Okay. And then this next spot, you can see, is a really nasty ledge. Now, I don't know if this car is going to pull this or not. I'm going to walk up that right rear. See that top tire is not turning now. Allows me to navigate that, disengage it. Oh, we're going to stay planted. Look at that. Section here can be tricky sometimes. I think this car is going to navigate it perfectly though. Zoom out. The rear end isn't where it needs to be. There we go. I think I just need to stay turned longer. There we go. Yeah. Okay. How difficult it'll be for this car. That was easy. This car has the wheelbase and the reach to get that front end locked in where it needs to be. Nice. Ooh, that's deep on the other side. Back up. You don't want to go that way. There we go. Yeah. What's that way? Would have been a good spot for that ASD. Walk right up that. Long enough to get my. I need to get that. Oh, let's make sure we're not going over backwards on this stuff. There we go. I'll disengage it. That sucks. It doesn't disengage all the way. You gotta back up or something. There we go. Okay, I got that. That was the hard part. Got a bit of a sketchy part here. Real tilted off camber line. Get that front end back in there. Okay. Rear end follows. We got a little notch here. Do that now. Almost there. Okay. I'm just going to pack the tire all the way up, I guess. Very nice. On to the next line. Yeah, I don't know about that spot. Maybe if I... There we go. Hit it with some momentum. Alright, I think we're about done, so wrap it up. All in all, I'm impressed. First, I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to think about this car. Didn't know how I felt about the ASD technology. One thing I will note is that it doesn't disengage very well. The springs or whatever it is in there aren't strong enough, so I'm gonna look into something there. It's not a servo issue because the servo doesn't actually pull it out of lock. I'm almost positive it's just a weak spring problem, so we'll look into that. But yeah, all in all, impressed. Definitely happy with the purchase. So be on the lookout for more videos of this car and all my others. So we'll catch you next time.